forgetting to set her alarm when she took a nap and waking up an hour late for her red-eye flight, which forced her to forego a shower and head off to Austin Bergstrom International Airport in black leggings, an oversized sweatshirt with a dark smudge on the sleeve, which she'd put her money on was chocolate, and a ball cap. The line for the bag check was longer than Space Mountain at Disneyland, and she'd been rammed and bammed by so many passengers it was like being trapped in a game of bumper cars without a bumper. She'd had her toe stepped on, her right boob elbowed, and coffee dripped on her left. There were only 3 checkers working, and she was positive that if things didn't turn around fast, she'd miss her flight, which would mean she'd have less time to settle in and prepare for the biggest job of her career thus far. "This is why I should have brought a carry-on," Jane mumbled to herself. One less line to stand in. "Oh, those were the days," the woman beside her said. The woman looked exhausted. She had an infant strapped to her like she was tandem skydiving, a toddler holding her hand, and enough bags to open a luggage shop. "I'm lucky to get out of the house without needing a bellhop. Though I can't really stuff a bridesmaid dress into an oversized backpack. Not to mention the wigs and other necessities one needs when moonlighting as a master of disguise." Jane wasn't just a bridesmaid for hire this trip. She was playing the role of an actual person. Elle Vaughn, Manhattan socialite, accomplished equestrian, and the bride-to-be's childhood best friend, who had recently sold Sarah out by revealing private information to the press about her older brother. Since the bride had been talking about Elle nonstop to her family, and admitting to Elle's betrayal would mean having to come clean about nearly costing her brother his big racing contract, Sarah couldn't have a bridesmaid be a no-show. Enter Jane and the bride buddies. "A wedding," the woman said dreamily. "I remember those days. My friends and I are now in the swollen ankles and breast-pumping phase. A night with martinis and menus that aren't peanut and gluten-free sounds like a dream." "I do love me a good wedding," Jane had to admit. The flowers, the glowing bride, the first dance, the romance of it all. They were like the fairy tales Jane used to weave about her father when her mom's military career had taken them all around the world. And she would rather say her dad was a roadie with whatever her favorite band was at that time than admit that he was dead. "Where are you headed? Tell me it's someplace beautiful." The woman's eyes were wide and expectant, as if hanging on Jane's every word. "London, actually." "Is it a destination wedding?" "No, it's for my childhood best friend. She's from there," Jane said, pulling up all the details like a spreadsheet in her mind. Her back straightened. Her words became more precise, more Upper East Side Elle and less middle-class Jane. "We met at an equestrian camp when we were just 13. Every summer we'd bunk together, and throughout the years we'd write to each other. We had journals we'd pass back and forth, sharing our secrets and dreams. By the time we aged out of camp and pen pal antics, our friendship was cemented." It took everything Jane had not to gag on that lie. The truth of it was, just 2 weeks ago, Sarah had been inches from killing Elle. As Jane understood it, Sarah trusted Elle with a secret about her brother, and Elle went straight to TMZ. Henry was still in the dark about how his secret meeting with a rival team became public knowledge, and Sarah wanted to keep it that way, at least until after the wedding. So she'd hired Jane to play the role of Elle. Armed with tales of s'mores, friendship bracelets, and secret midnight swims, and every detail of Elle's history that Roxy could scour from online, Jane was determined to make this her best performance yet. She'd been training her entire life for this, after all. "That is so sweet. I've never met her family." Thank God for that. It was the only way this particular job was going to work. "So, this should be a fun trip." 7 days to play the